The glitz and glamour of Hollywood often hide a world of controversy, where speaking out can come with a heavy price. Yet some celebrities have defied the pressure, standing firm against the growing wave of woke culture dominating the industry. These stars didn't just whisper their dissent, they made bold moves, risking their careers, reputations, and everything they've built. This is the story of those who dared to challenge the system and spark debates that still echo across Tinseltown. We will start with Rowan Atkinson.
In a recent interview you gave with the Irish Times, you said, comedy's job is to offend, and it seems nowadays people are very careful about what they joke about. Do you worry about where comedy is going?
Not greatly, because it's a cyclical thing. You know, one minute, certain jokes or certain attitudes and outlooks are just out of fashion.
Atkinson starts with a simple yet bold statement. Comedy's job is to offend. Wait, what? Isn't comedy supposed to make people laugh? Well, yes, but he argues that laughter often comes from poking fun at things, questioning norms, and sometimes stepping on a few toes. After all, comedy has always been about holding up a mirror to society and making people laugh, even if that reflection isn't always flattering.
And in the end, the whole point of a joke is to entertain people. And if people are not entertained, then you haven't, fulfilled your brief. And so I'm a great believer that we must have free expression.
But he's quick to clarify, comedy also needs to entertain. If no one's laughing, the joke has failed, plain and simple. Imagine a comedian delivering punchlines to a stone-faced audience. Awkward, right? Atkinson's point here is that jokes don't exist in a vacuum. They need to land with the audience. If they don't, well, maybe the comedian needs to rethink their material. Next, we have Dave Chappelle.
Because I didn't come up with this idea on my own. This idea that a person can be born in the wrong body. But they have to admit, that's a fucking hilarious predicament.
Dave Chappelle has always been known for pushing the boundaries, but this time he's taken things to a whole new level. In his latest stand-up specials, he sets his sights on the heart of woke culture, tearing it apart in a way only he can. The woke community, Hollywood elites, and social justice warriors are all feeling the heat, and the backlash is intense. But here's the catch. Chappelle doesn't flinch. He's not backing down, even as the pressure mounts. Hollywood may not be happy, but the world is watching. The question is, how far will this go?
And she said, because, David, you are not gay. I said, well, Renee, I'm not a nigger either.
Chappelle has this unapologetic way of pointing out the insanity of today's culture, especially around the woke community. In one of his bits, he talks about how he can't say certain slurs because he's not gay. Now, let that sink in. You can't even use the same language in comedy anymore, depending on your identity.
But you see, what I didn't realize at the time and what Kevin had to learn the hard way is we were breaking an unwritten and unspoken rule of show business. And if I say it, you'll know that I'm telling you the truth. The rule is that no matter what you do in your artistic expression, you are never, ever allowed to upset the alphabet people.
He's exposing the hypocrisy of modern society. We've reached this weird place where only certain groups can use certain words, and if you don't belong to that group, you're automatically the bad guy. Chappelle calls out the absurdity of this double standard. It's like we're giving certain people a free pass and others a muzzle, and people are tired of walking on eggshells.
Those people that took 20% of the alphabet for themselves. I'd say the letters, but I don't want to conjure their anger. It's too late now. I'm talking about them L's and them B's and them G's and the T's.
Then, of course, there's his famous alphabet people bit. Chappelle doesn't hold back when he says there's an unwritten rule in Hollywood: don't upset the woke community. He jokes that they've hijacked 20% of the alphabet, and he can't even say the letters without conjuring their anger. And he's right, isn't he? Criticizing any part of the woke agenda is treated like blasphemy. Now we will see how rock destroyed the woke culture.
Streaming platforms have definitely changed the game in terms of how people consume content. And that's been both a challenge and an opportunity for us in the industry.
Okay.
As for the woke movement, I think it's important to have diverse voices and perspectives in storytelling.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, a name synonymous with strength, charisma, and success, has once again taken center stage. Not in the wrestling ring or on the big screen, but in the cultural arena. Recently, Johnson made headlines by openly criticizing cancel culture and woke culture during an interview on Fox and Friends. His remarks were not just passing comments, but a bold critique of contemporary trends that he believes are contributing to societal division and stifling authenticity.
We need to create content that's inclusive and speaks to a wide range of people.
Johnson's critique of cancel culture and woke culture centers on the idea that these movements, while initially well-intentioned, have gone too far. He argues that the relentless push to conform to certain ideological standards has created a climate where individuals are pressured to suppress their true selves out of fear of backlash. This, he believes, undermines the very essence of personal freedom and individual expression. According to Johnson, the value of authenticity cannot be overstated, and it is something he has championed throughout his career. Hollywood, where image often takes precedence over substance, has had a mixed reaction to Johnson's stance. Known for his larger-than-life persona, Johnson has never shied away from speaking his mind, even when it puts him at odds with the prevailing trends in the entertainment industry. Next up, we have Bill Maher.
And finally, new rule: if you're part of today's woke revolution, you need to study the part of revolutions where they spin out of control because the revolutionaries get so drunk on their own purifying elixir, they imagine they can reinvent the very nature of human beings.
Bill Maher has recently stirred the pot by delivering a scathing critique of woke culture and its influence on contemporary society. The comedian and talk show host, known for his outspoken views and sharp wit, has found himself at the center of controversy after he made provocative remarks aimed at what he sees as the excesses of progressive activism. His comments have sparked significant debate, revealing deep divisions in how people view the impact of these movements on society.
Not standing in line all day for a potato. The problem with communism, and with some very recent ideologies here at home, is that they think you can change reality by screaming at it, that you can bend human nature by holding your breath.
Maher's criticism centers on the notion that woke culture, an umbrella term often used to describe heightened social awareness around issues like racial justice, gender equality, and other progressive causes, has led to an environment where dissenting views are not only unwelcome but actively punished. In his recent discourse, Maher argues that this form of activism can go too far, creating a culture of intolerance towards those who do not fully align with its values.
Yesterday, I asked ChatGPT, are there any similarities between today's woke revolution and Chairman Mao's cultural revolution of the 1960s? And it wrote back, how long do you have?
A significant point in Maher's critique is his assertion that woke culture promotes a form of ideological purity that can be both exclusionary and punitive. He argues that this has resulted in a phenomenon where individuals or public figures can be canceled for expressing opinions that diverge from the prevailing progressive narrative. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into Hollywood's most compelling tales. Share your thoughts below. Your voice matters just as much as theirs. See you in the next one.